Hello and welcome to another gas station food cyclist commentary overlay on a NorCal Cycling Photos video. This time we have the brand new 2018 Kingsburg Criterium. Kingsburg Criterium, really great race to have in its first year. Course was super fun. It was a little bit technical, but it wasn't hilly. It was kind of great for the thick boys. There was a little rough patch on the course that if you were more of a thick boy, you could ride through it, or thick girl. You could ride through it a little bit better than all those skinny minis out there. Flat as a pancake sort of course. And it was in this really cool town that I've never been to before. That's the cool thing about bike racing. Bike racing brings you out to so many places that you would otherwise consider really off your radar. Kingsburg's actually kind of this cool little Swedish town in the middle of the Central Valley, not too far away from Visalia, where the Sequoia Classic was the next day. So, this race is, once again, brought to you by Tarun Pizzeria, our gracious benefactors for Squadra San Francisco, presented by Tarun and Tarun Elite. Also, shout out to their sister restaurant, Italico. We're going to do another shout out to one of our other sponsors, this time for Summit Bicycles. Summit Bicycles, a great Bay Area bike shop with multiple locations throughout the Bay Area. Hashtag what your bike shop should be. That being said, they pretty much are what your bike shop should be, because I live right down the street from one of their bike shops, and I've been going there ever since I've been living here, because I have been able to instantly form a relationship with the staff there. And I've been able to sort out my problems efficiently and quickly because their staff is A, knowledgeable and great at their trade, but B, they're just great and easy people to work with. And they carry all the products that you need. And they're able to find you the specialty products that you didn't think you need, but now you're in a conundrum where you do need it, and it's the night before you go away to a stage race. Just kidding, they're not going to be able to order you the thing you need right before a stage race the night before, but they'll do their best. They'll get you going. All right, so here we go with the 2018 Kingsburg Criterium. It's been a minute since this race when I'm recording it, so I'm a little behind, but I have some notes. We have a decent start. I kind of get to the front. Dave kind of gets to the front. Cliff Bar was there. Decent sized field. Decent representation from Southern California and Northern California. We got Cliff Bar right there with Owen Jalot. We got A Main Cycling in the house. We have Specialized Muscle Milk in the field. So it's kind of just attack, counterattack from the very get-go. Jeff coming up on Matt McCole, sorry. I'm always messing up my own teammates' names, and I get mad when they can't pronounce my name. So, little pot calling the kettle black there. So yeah, this is where you enter the roughest section of the course. If you can kind of look at the pavement, how the pavement changes, this was a chip seal that had kind of eroded to the sands of time. It was like going to the Sphinx in Egypt. It was just totally obliterated, and then you come out onto this nice smooth tarmac. If you're a little bit heavier of a rider, you could just hit it in that section, and glide right through it. If you're a little bit lighter, you kind of hit it and then you slow down. So you can see how the field's kind of getting strung out from the very get-go. Single file. It was a super windy day, and I can't say how that affected the field enough, because it was a smaller field. It was maybe so there was only like 20 riders in this field. And when it's that small of a field on a very windy day, things just get strung out and there's nowhere to hide. You burn a lot of matches a lot quicker. So just constant from the get-go, attack, counterattack, trying to see if anything's going to stick. I'm up there doing a lot of the early punches for the team. That's kind of how I remember the situation. I also remember feeling like total balls, if that's appropriate for YouTube. Oh, look, Ryan Oakes coming up on the inside around me, and I'm just going to close that one down. I remember feeling like total balls. I hadn't done a race since Chico. It'd been 3 or 4 weeks. It'd been more like 2 or 3 weeks, not 3 or 4. I would never take a whole month off. Maybe I should take a whole month off racing. I don't know. Maybe I race cyclocross too, so wouldn't be too bad. I don't know. I'm not a coach, and I'm not giving myself coaching advice on YouTube right now. So, I just remember feeling like total balls during this race. Thankfully, I knew that I had some fast teammates with me, and we had all hopped in my van down to Kingsburg in Visalia for the weekend, and we can make something good of it. So look at this gap go. We got Cliff looking around. We got this guy. He was in a Kelly Benefits kit. Kelly Benefits Strategies is apparently still a team, no longer associated with rally cycling. That's how I think of them. So A-Main coming up around. There's a little bit of a gap. Going, gone at this point. And, Jeff's just kind of sitting in, seeing what happens. I think this attempt at the gap comes back. 2 riders, it looks like, off the front. SoCal Cycling doing a little bit of the work to bring it back. It looks like A-Main followed by me. Is that me? I think I see my white saddle underneath my butt. I didn't realize how noticeable that was. My father's always told me, never have a white handlebar tape and never have a white saddle. So, of course, when I got my Team Edition race bike a couple of years ago, I opted to put a white saddle and white bar tape on it because I was like, oh, I'm ballin', I have a team bike. Ever since, I've just been trying to upkeep it on my own as I've switched around on teams, etc. But I don't know. I like the white saddle and I like the white bar tape. It's not so dreary when you look down at your handlebars and you see white, I feel like. That being said, I clean my bike a lot. Jeff just getting in this train. He's got me up in front of him. He's got Kelly Benefits, who this guy appeared to be pretty... I'm not going to call him by Kelly Benefits the whole entire time. Chris Weddington. He appeared, he looked a bit like he was kind of a hitter. We just come up on a group. Everyone's looking around, attack. I'm pulling through. We got Chaz on the left for Specialized Muscle Milk. A little bit of a gap. Jeff's following it. You can see the motorbike. He's at the pointy end of things right now. I pull off. I'm not going to piss away in the wind all day long. I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. I'm just trying to see where my form is. And you can see how we kind of come up on this real rough section here. That far left line is kind of the better line, and I realized that as the day went on. You kind of wanted to hit the apex of the turn and then swing as far left as possible without taking someone's wheel off of them. that was kind of the better line. We were told at the beginning by other people that had raced that they had liked that inside line. I disagree with that. I think that outside left line was a lot better. So what sort of shenanigans are we going on here? Just Jeff kind of at the front of affairs. No one's really gone up the road yet. He's not gonna pull through. Actually, you know what? Maybe this is the gap. I should check. Jeff sent me a bunch of notes for this too. No, so this isn't the gap yet. Sorry. Spoiler alert. Jeff pulling through, obviously trying to make a group. The group has a little bit of a detachment. He's trying to help the detachment grow a little bit further. So he's pulling through. He's putting in out a decent amount of effort right now, trying to stick it. This isn't soft pedaling for sure. Jeff's smart. You could tell when he's half-heartedly pulling through, and you could tell when he's really trying to get it to stick. He's very calculated in that way. Whereas some people... Okay, so obviously... coming up real close on that corner. It's great. I don't think of Jeff as an amazing risk taker riding with him because he's so calm, cool, and collected. But watching his bike videos, man, he takes some corners sometimes, and even raises the hair on the back of my neck, that's for sure. So Jeff, he's got Matt up in front of him. That's a little bit of a ding. Looks like SoCal Cycling. Tyler Locke of Support Clean Sport, Guten Plan Co. We're going to assume they're of German influence. Guten, I don't know. Hendrick Cycling was there. This is Owen. Is this Owen Delot from Cliff Bar? Might be. So John and Owen were in this field. They showed up for the weekend. So the deal is that this race was kind of thrown in conjunction with the Sequoia Cycling Classic. Northern California riders, a lot of us showed up for this race, stayed the night in Visalia, and then ended up racing Sequoia the next day. A couple of LA, Southern California people did that as well. Some people just came up for the Sequoia. Sequoia obviously having the bigger field size. This looks like a little bit of a gap gone as Jeff's at the front, and so Matt Meekel's going to chase it down. And Jeff's looking right at Owen. He's like, Owen, are you going to chase it? And then Tyler Locke goes, and then Owen's teammate goes, and then I'm covering that. So, that's one of those sort of situations where you attack while your teammate is at the front, like Jeff, and then you look at the other big contenders in the race, and you're like, are you going to chase it? And then their teammates get into the foray. So you just have to follow their wheel at that point. That was a well-calculated attack by Matt's on Matt's end right there. Looks like we have A-Main Cycling looking back. I think that is actually... I should get his name right. Joseph Holt. That was Joseph Holt. Okay. Sorry. Jeff going on the attack. Coming over some people. Coming up on Kelly Benefit Strategies. Chris. He's doing a lot of looking and not a whole lot of pedaling and looking forward. Very questionable on my end. As I preface in this Sequoia Classic video, there was a whole lot of chippiness in this race, and I'm not really down with chippiness. Jeff taking that outside line, and look at the gutter and the cones. You can kind of tell how rough the road was, but it doesn't do it justice. Anyways, so Chris just pulls off. But then dive bombs the corner. Questionable, and then he's going to soft pedal it, and Jeff's just going to look at him. I don't understand what Chris was thinking at this point, because Jeff has a teammate up there, and he just keeps looking back and swinging off. You know, what, Jeff's going to chase down his own teammate? He's not going to let that gap go. SoCal Cycling, 2 riders, and, you know, Cliff, and then Jose of Crip Fighters, they pull through. They'll close down that gap. You know, like, it's one thing if you don't have teammates up the road and you refuse to close the gap, and then that person is like, God, man, close that gap. What are you doing? There's a really good meme about that a couple of weeks ago, about, oh, you know, I'm saving my energy for the sprint. I'm not going to close that gap. But it was in the format of those motorcycle dudes. It's the new meme format. Anyways, well, we're not going to be able to sprint if the brake goes. That sort of thing. Yo, if my teammate is up the road and you're looking at me to close the gap or pull through, like, I might soft pedal it through because I like you, to say the least, and I'm trying to encourage the other rider behind me to pull through as, like, a justice to you, as a friend of a friend, like, you know, a friend thing. But if I don't know you and you get mad at me for not pulling through because my teammate's up the road, like, go fly a kite. That makes 0 sense. And it still baffles me that we race P12 crits and people don't comprehend that. It's infuriating. And then they get mad and then they spit on you or do something. Oh, so we have an attack. Sorry. Tracked away from my ranting. So we have an attack. Jeff puts out quite a bit of power to bridge up to that. Looks like that is SoCal. No, that's Chaz. That's Chaz. So he gets on Chaz's wheel of Muscle Milk. Looks like there's a little bit of a gap. Chaz looks to him. Jeff, once again, you know, like, I got a teammate or something. I do think we have a teammate up there. So he's not going to pull through. He's going to let a bunch of other people do the work, as usual, because he's smart. And you know what the other thing about Jeff is? You know, the good thing about him being a smart bike racer is knowing when to open your mouth during a bike race. And there were a lot of them. I hate talking about this, but there were a lot of moments in this bike race a lot of people were not speaking to each other, A, with kindness, but B, really at the right times with the correct criticisms. Going once again into this rough section, Chaz searching for a line, doing a good job, hitting the corner, Jeff coming up around the outside, you know, just holding that wheel kind of fast. This might be the formation of something here. I think at this point I was pretty tired. Once again, I was telling you I was having a bad day. Chaz doing a little bit of a thigh shakeout. Love that move, actually. Fabs are the Red Hammer of Switzerland, is known for doing the good old thigh shakeout. A little bit of a jump going. Looks like we have, I think that's Matt McCall right on the move. Kelly Benefits chasing through. That's a pretty good gap right there. Got Jose of Crip Fighters. We're coming in 4 riders into a corner. That's pretty nuts. That's you know, that's how gaps go. When 4 riders go into a corner and all look at each other. Oh, are you gonna chase this one down? So yeah, we got an arm sling from Kelly Benefit Strategies right there. Jeff is like, yeah, my teammate's up there. I'll pull through and I'll be the world's biggest bag of lead. Look at the minimal amount of power. His heart rate's actually going down. He's taking this corner as easy as possible. Looks like Thirsty Bear coming around looking at him. Why are you doing that? Yo, he's got a teammate up the road. So I'm going to hop on your wheel, and I'm going to put in even more effort trying to follow you in the chase. Stop looking back. Don't flick your elbow. I have a teammate up the road. It should be apparent what I'm doing. Flicking the elbow again. Jeff is not going to pull through. This is exactly what Jeff wants. Jeff is happy to have Matt McCole get in the winning break. I'm happy if Matt McCole gets in the winning break. Because he's a great dude. He deserves to get in the winning break. Because he's strong. And he's a great dude. And he has great hair. Every time I see Matt, we train a lot in the same area. Every time I see him, I look at him and I say, hey, look at you look great. That's what Jeff's doing right now to this Thirsty Bear rider. He's like, yeah, I'll soft pedal it. Look at the power number dip as he goes into this corner. So A-Main gets the front. A-Main knows what's up. Chaz from Cycle Sport gets up. Jeff's gonna mark it. And this is now a substantial chase with two teams at the front taking turns. Going into, once again, the rough section. Look how you actually hop over the bricks going into that section. That's actually the better lane to take. Every time I would do it, I would try to swing as far left as possible. Ryan Oakes looking back. Ryan being like, oh yeah, your teammate's up the road and you're not going to chase that down. So a gap goes, and then Jeff kind of has incentive to chase this little, that's a calculated move. Like, do you care about those riders getting up to your break with your teammate in it? I wouldn't be too afraid of those guys, but I don't think it's also aiding in the chase at all. But he's gonna let Ryan Oakes do the work to chase these guys down. It's taking away, obviously, from the chase of the break. But if the chase group starts attacking each other, so yeah, Jeff pulls through at this point. He's gonna chase down these dudes that are attacking the chase group. So if the chase group is attacking itself, that's perfect for Jeff. Jeff wants that. He wants the chase to be impeded. When the chase group starts attacking itself, it's impeding the chase. His teammate up the road gets a bigger gap. He's cool with that. And then once he closes down that gap, he does not have to pull through. And the riders are going to be like, well, we just attack. We don't have any energy. Pull through. Well, yeah, Jeff's not going to pull through because his teammate's up the road. Once again, going into that corner. So, this was like a tactical race. It's like playing chess. It's a good mental exercise. This is one of those things where even still nowadays, me watching this, I'm saying these things, I'm trying to get into Jeff's head and imagine what he's thinking. I'm trying to justify what he's doing. If, I was in Jeff's shoes, I might have done the exact same thing, and someone could have told me that what I should have done that's wiser than me. No one's telling Jeff what he should have done, because Jeff's been around, been there, done that. So Chaz attacking, Jeff pulling through, not pulling through, but chasing back on. He's gonna look. Looks like they have a substantial enough gap now, so Jeff's, he's putting out some power. So this is the point where Jeff is like, all right, this actually makes sense. let's bridge this gap. Let me get up there with my teammate. We'll work from there. You guys have done quite a bit of work. We have a good enough gap. So yeah, that's how that works out. So if you're ever in a chase group with someone that's not really pulling through because their teammates up the road, they're going to pull through when they realize that they have a chance at connecting with their teammates. So just have that realization in the back of your mind. And don't get mad at them for not pulling through. I feel like that's kind of bike racing 101. And don't get mad in general because it's such a small scene that you don't really want to have enemies. In Jeff's notes, he says, Jeff refuses to chase his teammate, makes frenemies with the peloton. And then, yeah, so Jeff bridges solo and bleeds from his eyeballs, which is a quote that I've said multiple times. So Jeff bridges this one. He comes up on it. Who's in it? It's Owen. SoCal Cycling is up there too. Who are the SoCal Cycling riders? We got Jacob Franson, and we have Ethan Batt from SoCal Cycling. Don't know which one's which. Alexander Kabatic of Fulton Racing. And then we have Pierre Bernard Tifo of Hendricks Racing. Talked about him in the Sequoia Classic video. And John Franz of Davis Bike Club. John Franz racing on low bicycles. Hey, I race on low bicycles. They're great bikes. If you like hand-built aluminum race machines for track, cyclocross, or road, hit up Andrew at Low Bicycles. Hand-built in the Mission District. TIG welded aluminum. Great stuff. Anyways, back to the racing. So Jeff has bridged up to his teammate. He's bridged into essentially the winning break. We all knew that this field was going to shatter. This break, from my perspective, was too big. So I am uneasy. And I'm trying to bridge up, but there's a whole bunch of shenanigans going back on. Kelly Benefits didn't make the break. Who else didn't make the break? A-Main Cycling didn't make the break. John Bergman of Team Cliff Bar did not make the break. So, essentially, Dave Grumman, he also on Tarun did not make the break. And then Chaz Thurman of Cycle Sport did not make the break. And then the Thirsty Bear rider, but I'm not seeing a Thirsty Bear rider on the reg, so I can't tell which. Oh, and Tyler Pierce of Michael David Henry Widebury did not make the break. So these guys are just riding the break. I think preems are getting called at this point. That's why gaps are kind of forming and gets a little dicey. Gotta sew things up, not let things get too far gone from it. But yeah, you know, a mild amount of cooperation. I think at this point, you know, Jeff and Matt, I'm not really seeing them converse a whole lot, but they might be operating on some telepathic wavelength in regards to how it's going to go down. But yeah, so Jeff's or Matt's up there. He's looking at Jeff. Obviously fully committed to this break. You know, they're going to pull through. There's no reason that they're not going to pull through. Are they going to pull through and try to put out their, greatest pull on planet Earth? No, I don't. No one's expecting them to do that. If they are, they're insane. Tyler Locke doing a lot of work. He's doing his lion's share of the work. Another rider. You make the break, you do the work. From like a code of ethics standpoint, but you could also kind of like sit in and do half-assed pulls. Why are they going through the middle section, staying to the right? I never understood why people were doing that. I was taking the left side. I thought the left side was way better, in my personal opinion, or in my honest opinion. Yeah, so some sort of cheeky shenanigans going there, waving on Jeff to pull through when, someone else was kind of attacking. Is this, okay, so Jeff's going puppy paws over his handlebar right now. Yeah, we're going to expect either a rider to pull through, I think, at this point, because I don't know if this is really a concerted attack from Jeff, or he's just... Yeah, so both SoCal with Owen, Jalot, Matt, and then Tyler Locke. Everyone's just pulling through at this point, so Jeff did a decent pull, wasn't super hard or anything. Everyone pulls through. A little bit of freewheeling, not going hard, but still there's enough commotion behind that it's surely going to lap at this point. You get a big... This isn't a break. This is a split in the field. So everyone behind is attacking each other, trying to, bridge an impossible gap, not working together. And... with the team numbers behind, working together is kind of futile. Or, it's just like, if you're not on a team that has someone up the road, like, you're not getting up there. If you are on a team that has someone up the road, why would you do that? Selfish. Check yourself. Be calm. Be cool. So yeah, this is the lead group. It's kind of splitting up right here. This might have been a preem. I'm not sure. Looks like a little soft pedaling now. Jeff Gap doesn't look like... we're making the bridge right now. This is a bridge. So Owen wants to bridge. Owen wants to get back up with his teammate. And then, hypothetically, once he bridges, I'm assuming that he wants to go straight forward with it. But I don't think that's the case. Am I wrong? Did I lose track there for a second? No, okay, that wasn't the bridge. That was just a little gap that wasn't too big or anything. But yeah, let's talk about that. There's going to be they are going to lap the field at this point. Think about who wants to lap the field, who doesn't want to lap the field. If I was any of the riders that didn't have someone else in the main field, I would not want to lap the field because it would be super confusing. Except maybe Tyler Locke, because Tyler Locke is he's a pretty skilled dude. I think he could handle it, Looking at some of the other riders in here, even SoCal Cycling, I don't know if they necessarily wanted to lap the field here. Matt and Jeff, they're thinking, yeah, we got teammates up there. It would kind of help. But I'm not sure if they wanted to lap at this point. It's been a minute since this race, so having a hard time going back into my mental history here on this one. But Jeff continuing to pull through. He's out at the back for a while. He's gonna take a softish, decent pull. You know, nothing too crazy. Some of the buildings in this town are super cool. So it's like a Swedish town. I don't know what that necessarily entails, but it's a Swedish town is what it was advertised as. So there's some cool buildings on the course. Hendricks pulling through. You know, like I don't understand why Hendricks wants to pull through and lap the field. If I was Hendricks, I'd just sit on. I'd do zero work if I were this dude. He has no one in the group behind, so if they do lap the field, he's not able to get help. And then if he does waste his energy in helping lap the field and drag everyone through, then when the final attack comes, or is he going to be able to counter? I don't think so. Tyler rolling through. I don't know. That's the problem with some of these videos, is I can't tell when they're calling preems. I don't think they were calling a whole lot of preems in this race, and I don't think the prizes were anything in particularly special or anything like that. So, I do think Tyler did kind of want to lap the field. Yeah, I just think he did. I think he wanted chaos. And then, obviously, John Franz, Davis Cycling Club, he's going to pull through to the extent where people are going to not yell at him, but he's not going to necessarily give like the break is established. That's the thing. When you're racing a crit, it's a little bit different than racing a road race. When you race a road race, you're always worried about establishing the break in comparison to, do you have enough energy to last? In a crit, you're kind of worried about that too, but like, you're also super worried about, hey, do I want to lap the field or do I not want to lap the field? And, you know, a great example of this is if you go back in the time log, USA Crit Nationals, the year that Eric Marcotte won it, Smart Stop did not want to lap the field, and they do everything in their power to not lap that field. And there were some big teams that wanted to lap the field that day, and that's why Marcotte was able to win that day. Rest in peace, Smart Stop Cycling. They were a great team. But yeah, if you're ever looking for a race video to watch, Google Crit Nats from that year. I forget what year it was. But yeah, that's a good one. That just really shows you a circumstance of when you don't want to lap the field and how to do it, and then what to do when you don't lap the field and you want to win. So yeah, this bridge, it's got to be happening sooner than later. Wow, those Boyd wheels really do pop out on Tyler's bike. That's some good NASCAR advertising on those wheels. Jeff just kind of sitting in, got Matt up there, took a turn, dropping back. So gonna look to Jeff. He's gonna just get close, give him a little friendly. Hey, how's it going there, bud? Jeff's just sitting on those wheels. Got some passerbys on the course. This is the one part of the course you could see through to the other side of the course, like 2 turns away, and that was when this gap was up the road, and I could see them coming through there, and I was on the other side. That's when I knew they were about to bridge. So. What's Johnny Franz doing at the front? Not doesn't look like he wants to be there. Gonna want someone else to pull through. SoCal Cycling doing a pull. forget who... I feel awful because the dude that just pulled is actually quite a nice guy, but I can't remember his name if you held a gun to my head. So now I'm going to have to check Facebook to see if that's... Well, I might miss something here. Real high quality production levels here. This is Alexander Shabat. Ooh, wow. Jeff had to put a little bit of power to jump those wheels. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's, yeah, Alexander. Alex. Now that I can remember your name, and I'm looking at your Facebook, yeah, great dude. Talked to him, he did a really good job at Modesto last year. Sadly, that race is not coming back. That was a great course. Alexander Chabatic of Fulton Racing. There we go. Yeah, so, you know, this, you know, it's getting a little chippy in this group. Are they making the bridge, or... You know, if I was Jeff and we're making the bridge, I would just kind of sit on it at this point. And roll, and then once the bridge is made, roll through to the front and make sure that no one's going to do a counter instantly. Because that's a dangerous moment. When you make the bridge, someone's going to go, or someone's not going to go. But definitely in a group when this many people lap the field, just SoCal Cycling giving a little push. Definitely have a preference. I'll give you a push, but close down that gap. I'm the main guy for the day. These two SoCal Cycling riders, unfortunately, I can't tell them apart if you put a gun to my head. Very similar looking dudes. So I can't tell if this is the bridge or not. Yeah, even me commentating, I'm just like, I was waiting in the field desperately for them to just lap the field so I could be of some importance again. That might be it right there. Yeah, so we got an or not rider, or a main cycling rider dropping back. So yeah, we're coming up. Field is getting lapped. Bright red Bochecchia frames for SoCal Cycling. Who's this on the inside? We got Tyler of Michael David Henry Winery on the right. Up on the left, we have SoCal. Jeff's just sitting on. Jose looks back. Jose Acosta, Crit Fighters, kind of wondering what's going on. What's going to happen. Who is at the front? Well, now everything kind of pancakes, decompresses. Kelly Benefits on the right. It kind of got weird at this point. I don't know what that dude was really doing that day, Chris. Must have been a frustrating race for you to not have made the break, but things that you missed. in retrospect, things that you missed, Kelly Benefits, like, actually trying to chop Jose Acosta of Crit Fighters front wheel for whatever reason, and then Jose Acosta, East Palo Alto, man, he takes no shit, and them getting a little verbal spat, and me being like, okay, what's going on here? Que paso? So, yeah, so getting to the front, Matt, Jeff, and then you got John Franz. The field's been lapped. Got Owen right there. Is that Owen? Yeah, that's Owen. So you're kind of waiting for the next attack to roll through from the field. Jeff, amping up the power a bit. That's a pretty substantial dig. He's kind of testing the waters here to see if he can pop a gap. They've just lopped the field. Maybe I can launch a gap, bring forward a couple other strong riders, get something going. We've got, I think it was a 70-minute race. We're almost at the 45-minute mark. We got Hendricks also lapped the field. We got a non-Cliff rider who didn't wrap the field. We got Ryan. So maybe that gap didn't really go. Ryan Oaks from A-Main here. He is a lap rider, and then we have a non-lap rider from Cliff Bar. So don't understand why Ryan's necessarily following that wheel, but the Cliff Bar rider, he's got Owen he has to think about. So if Jeff attacks, he's going to follow it. Owen doesn't necessarily have to do any work. There goes Hendricks. Hendricks, going. I don't know why Ryan is necessarily chasing this down. It might be more of Jeff's imperative to chase this down since him and Matt had just lapped the field, but Ryan had not. You get a little flick of the elbow there, and Jeff's pretty smart. He's pretty good at not pulling through when he doesn't want to. I don't think he really thinks of this as a threat at this point. Yeah, you just see a drop in his power. Jeff's totally willing to let these guys go. But here goes John Franz. Here goes SoCal Cycling. I did not see who was up with. So yeah, Jeff's going to hop back. He's got Matt in front of him now. These are all riders that have lapped the field, and they're coming to the fore because now they have an imperative to not let Hendrick Cycling go. Jeff wasn't going to do the chasing. Now we're all going to get to the front. And, they're not breaking from the field. They're not getting a gap on the rest of the riders. It's too intermingled at this point. So they're just going to tow the whole field up. So this Hendrick Cycling rider is just going to come back into the thick of it. Jeff coming over the rough section of the course, doing some line changes. On Alexander's wheel. Little pancake compression there. What do you guys call it when the field all squishes up together? It goes from being all strung out to being pan flat. Call that pancake. Had really good pancakes this past weekend before Cat's Hill. Yeah. Pancakes are good slang fuel. Speaking of slang fuel, if you're not already following the Gas Station Food Cyclist on Instagram, please do. Tons of nutritional tips. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but also very serious. Did you know that sour Skittles have the same, pretty much the same ingredients in them as leading brand sports mix? Maybe something called, maybe something that rhymes with catch dabs. Yeah, they do. You just get sour Skittles instead. They're cheap and they taste great. And, yeah, I mean, Sour Skittles will get you to conquer the biggest obstacles in life. They're full of energy. That sourness, like regular Skittles are great, right? But the sour Skittles are particularly great because that sour flavor just, oh man, that will break any bonk, no problem asked. Jeff just hopping on Tyler Locke's wheel. Anyways, yeah. Sour Skittles, powered athlete, gas station food cyclist, hashtag Doug. Hopping on Tyler Locke's wheel for Support Clean Sport Guten Plan Coaching. Presented by Seasucker. Chaz Thurman in the mix for Specialized Cycle Sport. Let's see. You know, everyone's just coming in. Oh, wait, does that look like an attack from Tyler? I can't tell. That's me on the right. Kind of coming around SoCal. Maybe closing down the gap. Let's see. It's still compressing a little bit. I don't know what Chaz is doing, why he's raising his hand and looking up. Dave Grunman there. For Tarun Elite. Squadra, San Francisco. Yeah, everyone's kind of waiting, grinding teeth. There's Matt Meikle on the left. And it looks like someone's rolled off the front. Can't really tell from this point of view. But looks like there's a gap. Tyler's not necessarily in it yet. And I think he's got Hendricks on his wheel with John Franz behind Hendricks cycling. Matt's there, ready to go. Who's coming through? Is that Owen? Yeah, that looks like Owen. Pretty good matchup. It's all just chess work at this point. Matching up. Obviously, Matt and Jeff looking around, seeing who's there. Me just rolling back through. Oh, looks like some sort of little move just went. Owen popping over to the right on SoCal Cycling. Can't tell if anyone's... Oh, but there they go. Owen's right on that wheel, dive bombing that corner. That looks like some sort of a gap. Jeff's going to have to overcome this Cliff Rider for whatever reason who's trying to follow this. John Bergman is on SoCal Cycling Wheels. SoCal, who had just lapped the field as well. Going into the rough section. See him bouncing around. It's getting really strung out at this point. The wind was pretty bad. It was kind of a headwind at this point of the course. You know, if you're tired and it's getting strung out and this gap like this, I mean, Jeff's having to put out a ton of power to bridge that gap. You just put in quite a bit of spike. He's having to hold it too. God. Coming up. Don't know whose wheel that is. He's trying to get onto. That might be... I think that's Alexander's. right there. Hendrick's cycling. Alexander pulling off. Hendrick's giving a jump. Jeff right onto it. Right in the slipstream. Through the corner. Just gonna kind of sit there. It looks like John Franz is up in front of him for Davis Cycling. So that was a pretty dangerous move right there. I can't tell if anyone really got off the front. No, so it looks like Tyler, Owen. Well, this is where Owen goes. Owen goes right here. That's a dangerous move. So there was a move. Owen was able to bridge up to it, and now he's going to counter. Owen doesn't really attack unless he means it. Super smart bike racer, Owen, and when he goes for it, he's either going to do a dig to test the waters, or he's going to go full gas. I don't know what Chaz is doing at this point in the race. He's been lapped. I don't know why he's throwing a bone in it. Owen just pulls the fuck off. Well, SoCal Cycling goes now. Jeff's gonna hop on that wheel. So this is where all these riders who have lapped the field are kind of taking turns at each other, seeing who's gonna go, who's gonna pop. And then you have riders like Chaz from Specialized Muscle Milk who are just kind of throwing a wrench into it. They have no real reason to try to be in the winning move at this point. No real reason. They didn't lap the field. Let the riders that lapped, attack. I don't understand what he's raising his hand for. If you wanted to race and win, at this point, you should have lapped the field. John Franz just being like, what's up with this guy? It's like, yeah, you can ride off the front. It does not matter whatsoever. John, super smart guy, super great guy. He's been lapped. He'll just close that down for, whatever's sakes. Just because he can. It's not that difficult. It's like, yeah, if you've been lapped, you're sitting on and you're just being towed on to the, if you don't have teammates that lap the field. If you have teammates that lap the field, you still have a vital role to play to make sure that you're chasing down, you're like white on rice, man. You're chasing down everything. Chaz, on the other hand, getting to the front and raising his hand, I have no idea what that's about. He wrote on his Strava that apparently no one likes racing. Well, apparently he didn't have the legs to get into the brakes, so yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Then he started getting really chippy after that. He kind of interjected himself into a conversation with me and my teammate later down the road. I didn't really appreciate that much. Yeah, if two teammates are talking to each other, don't really interject your business into their business. Mid-race. So here we have John Franz just being super attentive, waiting to see if anything's going to go. John Franz is not one to do mega pulls and mega turns, but he is one to realize threats and to hop on them and, turn a threat into an opportunity. And that is a certain level of skill that not a whole lot of bike racers possess. I certainly don't sometimes. Looks like Jeff's got someone on his left side right there. He's just trying to hold that wheel. Don't see much of Tyler Locke at this point. He's really keeping his nose out of the wind. Once again, don't really know what Chaz from Cycle Sports doing there. If he wanted to be a part of the race, he should have lapped the field with the group, but he didn't. So, for whatever reason. yeah, Jeff coming up on the inside. Looks like John Franz pulling off. You know, he's not sitting at the pointy end of affairs. Oh, there goes SoCal Cycling. Chaz is going to chase this down. I don't know why. Like I said, how many riders lap the field? I think a total of 9 riders lap the field. So any turns he's doing is for 10th place. So he ended up with 11th out of what, like 23 riders. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. Not to be cruel. I also don't know why Jeff's following this, to be frank, through the rough section. Unless he's trying to he's going to try to attack on his own part at some point. He's just kind of sitting there. He's got Matt in the rears at this point, so not too dangerous. Don't really know at this point. Didn't look like Matt and him had any conversations on who was the designated go-to. So, but yeah, what's going on here? Chaz is just gonna ride this one through. Oh, there it goes. Shit. That's a pretty big move. That's what happens when a rider just comes to the front and does like, a big pull. Jeff definitely got caught out there, not in the position he wanted to be, waiting on that wheel. He's got to get around Chaz at this point. You got to ride it, Jeff. You got to get around it. Got to bridge that. That's a big gap. It's strung out. I think this might be the winning move. We got VC, we got SoCal, we got Kelly Benefits, got Thirsty Bear Rider. Looks like these are all riders that have been lapped. So Jeff's getting caught up in the mix of lapped riders, while riders that have lapped the field are making a substantial attack. He's not there to be up and follow that attack. Not to shit talk Jeff because he's a good friend. But yeah, that's that's where me as a teammate, I should have hopped on that and gotten Jeff up into that. But I didn't. And that's where Jeff kind of dropped the ball and missed the move. Yeah, so I'm looking at Jeff. I come back, I look at Jeff, and I'm like, yo, dude, I think that's substantial. You or Matt, where are you? Don't know where Matt Meikle is either. That's the thing about Jeff had another teammate that left the field, so I don't know where Matt went at this point. This is a pretty big move. You got Tyler Locke, you got Owen Jalot, you got John Franz. Looks like Jacob Franzen from SoCal Cycling was able to follow that one. That's a 3 or 4 rider move right there. That's substantial. That's the race winning move. And it's gone. It is gone. Look at that gap. I don't know. See, there's a lot of lap riders that are intermixing themselves in this chase. If I was someone like Alexander, I'd be like, what the what are you doing? Like, why? Obviously, Cliff Bar is just going to sit on any John from Cliff Bar is just going to sit, follow through, and not really pull through like he is right now because his man is up the road in the winning move. He's not going to potentially drag non-lap riders or lap riders back up to that move. Wow, yeah, so this is bad. It's pretty bad at this point. You got lap riders that are not... They're just kind of riding for whatever reason up towards the front. You got riders that did lap the field. Tired. Weren't able to follow the move. Weren't able to close it down for whatever reason. Alexander looking like he's in a rough spot. Jeff getting to the front, realizing the mistake. He's riding a wheel. He's probably going to pull through at this point. So yeah. It's kind of when we finished this race, I was kind of thinking we shit the bed on it. Maybe Tarun should have had a rider in that winning little gap, but I didn't lap the field and I didn't get into that winning gap, so who am I to say shit? And Jeff ended up doing pretty well in then, and so did Matt. Put in a valiant effort, as we're going to see, to try to amend our mistakes. And then Jeff ended up doing pretty damn good the next day with a 5th place at Visalia. So I don't think he lost sleep over this one. But which more important race? Yeah, so there you see me and Dave kind of coming up from the rears, realizing there's an issue. We got to get up there. We got to do something at this point. So, but we're just dragging lap riders. You know, like that's the thing. Like me and Dave, we're lap riders. We have teammates that have lapped the field. We're trying to chase, or we're going to try to bridge them. But we know that we're just going to have giant sandbags tied to our heels, concrete slippers of sorts. And all these other lap riders that, for whatever reason, are really dying for that 10th place. Because 9 riders lap the field. Yeah, going into the rough section. At a certain point, let's see where we're at. At a certain point, Matt Meikle gets across with Hendrick cycling, and they start putting it in a pretty big chase. And they almost get there, and then, but it looks like they're not going to get there. So, okay, yeah, so Hendricks and Matt go off the front, trying to bridge down that gap, and then someone else Chaz goes, and then I'm like, all right, this guy's, he's thrown a wrench into too many things. I'm going to chase him down, just as a personal vendetta. So that's me, and then Jeff sees that I'm up the road, and I've got tons of energy because, man, I didn't do shit. I didn't lap the field. I didn't do any of that. So Jeff's coming up on my wheel. I know that he's going to, and I'm going to absolutely kill myself. I was trying to dig my own grave at this point. I felt miserable. I can't emphasize this enough. I'm trying to get him up to the rider up the road. I'm trying to potentially even get him up to Matt Meikle, trying to get him up to the winning break. I get him up to Chaz, the lap rider, for whatever reason. And then I'm just gonna... So I see Chaz. We're coming up on him. And in my mind, he's a lapped rider. He has no incentive to chase. I don't know why he's up the road to begin with. I'm going to take the line I want to take through the field, go the face I need to go to be able to hold it. Chaz, why are you on the inside of the corner? Let me get around you. Let me tow my rider up. So I'm just going to keep on going. And I'm actually dying here. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to ask for Jeff's help for a little bit just to give me a break, just to get me to recover a little bit. But yeah, so Jeff is like, yeah, okay. He put in a good chase. I'm going to go puppy dogs over the handlebars. Puppy paws over the handlebars. I'm going to give in a good, concerted chase effort into trying to bridge. At least up to Matt. And if not up to Matt, I'm sprinting, or, I'm going for 7th place at this point. And then Jeff flicks his elbow. You can see it in the shadow. I think Chaz is pulling through at this point. He has no real incentive to pull through. I recognize that. So I'm gonna let him pull. As soon as I realize that he's kind of going half-assed or slowing down, I'm gonna take that opportunity to get around him to be able to help Jeff make as big of a chase as he can. I can't emphasize enough how much that initial pull really hurt. I think I'm only able to do one more big pull like that starting here. Don't know who this... Oh, okay, SoCal Cycling. Coming up on him. I'm just trying so hard. I really felt like shit for whatever reason at this point. Just kind of sad in reality. Should have been able to do better. I'll let Jeff pull through. This might be the point where I just give up. Let's see. Definitely gave up at some point. I definitely didn't have enough juice in me. I didn't have enough juice in me to lap the field with Matt and Jeff that day, and I was going to kill myself to try to help Jeff in his chase effort, but since I wasn't up there to begin with, it was kind of futile. But I'm going to follow through on Chaz's wheel here. Once again, Jeff, we don't really want taking monster pulls. It's like, at this point, we're worried about any riders behind us and being able to bridge to riders ahead of us. Because, I don't care. Chaz could go, 3 wheel lengths ahead of Jeff over the finish line. Doesn't matter. Chaz is lapped. Jeff lapped the field. Jeff will have a higher placing than Chaz. He will have a higher placing than me. So... that's not the point. The point is that we're trying to get Jeff up in to the winning move, and then maybe we're trying to get him up to Matt, but not really. We're hoping that Matt's able to bridge, because Matt has someone in tow too, but we don't necessarily want Jeff to be intermingled between Matt and another rider, because then that other rider is going to look to Matt and Jeff and be like, I'm not doing shit. You got 2 teammates. Which one is it? So yeah, I think at this point that's definitely the point where I look at Jeff and I say sorry. So Jeff gives a little bit more of a dig at this point. I think I just go, to quote Led Zeppelin, I go in through the outdoor. Great album, by the way. Probably one of my favorite Zeppelin albums. I think, is Chaz going to pull through? Is Chaz... Oh, okay, I'm not done yet. Wow, I'm actually amazed I was... I'm actually amazed I was able to last as long as I did. Because, in retrospect, I felt like I did... yeah, okay, this is me being like, nah, dude. But yeah, sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff, I owe you one. Man, that sucks. God, I feel awful now. In retrospect, me looking at Jeff and giving him the flick of the elbow, like being like, dude, I did all I could do. Like, I could have done more. I should have been able to do more. Jeff, I failed you. I let you down. I'm sorry. I let you down at Cat's Hill, too. Commentary on that one soon. You will not see any glimpses of me in that film, even though I was there for the entire race. But yeah, so I don't know what Chaz is doing at this point. Chaz realizes I'm not in the picture, so he's doing big pull. I once again. In my audio, I just heard so much freewheel. It's not even funny. So it looks like Kelly Benefits and Thirsty Bear were able to bridge up after I had dropped off. So yeah, Jeff's just going to say, once again, none of these riders have lapped the field, but they're racing their hearts out nonetheless. To be a part of it, to be a part of the grand bicycle race. So they're going through. Jeff's kind of sitting there wheel. Don't know if he's gonna pull through. I see zero reason for him to pull through at this point. Just sitting that wheel of the Thirsty Bear rider. Which on the reg sheet, I don't actually see a Thirsty Bear rider name, but there's no one riding for Thirsty Bear, but he's in the kit, so. Maybe Jove Graham? I'm not sure. So, yeah, Chaz kind of launches. Kelly Benefit is going to follow through. This Thirsty Bear rider is done. Jeff goes around them. Once again, Jeff could sit up at this point. These people can ride it home. They're not getting a higher placing than him because he lapped the field. So, yeah, and Jeff still has the balls to come around all of them and do like a 1,200 watt sprint. Boom. Done. Dusted. Sayonara. Pack it up. Clean your chain. Hop in my van. Go to the hotel. Let's race Visalia tomorrow and make up for missing the break today. So Matt ended up getting 5th. He ended up out-sprinting the Hendricks Racing. Still ended up off the 3-person podium and never bridging up to that 4-man winning move, unfortunately. Yeah, Jeff pulling through, getting a little tap from Chaz. Chaz talking to him. And that's it. Thank you once again for watching this NorCal Cycling Photos productions with commentary by the Gas Station Food Cyclist. I hope you enjoyed this one.